Right now at 4:30, one day later, and so many more questions about that tragic fire that led to the death of 12 people, including 8 children. One of the big questions is whether anything could have been done differently or what can change now to prevent the next tragedy. NBC 10 investigative reporter Claudia Vargas has been digging into the city's building and fire code and speaking with experts. She joins us live in our newsroom with what she's learned. Claudia, what did you find out?
Right, Jackie. Well, in discussing yesterday's tragedy, another awful event in Philly's history came up, the Salvation Army building collapse. From that deadly incident, a blue ribbon panel came up with dozens of recommendations, including fire safety and prevention. Now, the head of that panel says he wishes Philly would have followed their guidance. The 2013 Salvation Army collapse that killed 6 people and injured 13 led to various inquiries into the city's licenses and inspections department. Fire expert Glenn Corbett was the chairman of a blue ribbon panel that recommended, among various things, that L&I be stripped of fire safety inspection duties.
It's the biggest city in our country that the fire department has really no role in fire code enforcement.
He says the result has been a reactive approach rather than a proactive.
The fire department, if they were performing fire inspections, will literally walk through buildings looking for fire hazards, extension cords, overloaded, blocked exits, hazardous conditions.
The housing authority says it annually inspected the 2 units that went up in flames in Fairmount yesterday. The authority placed smoke detectors. L&I says it wouldn't duplicate PHA's effort unless there was an official fire safety complaint.
Well, certainly no major city in America leaves fire code enforcement to another entity other than the fire department. Nobody does that.
Corbett says that even if the city had followed its recommendations, it may not have avoided yesterday's tragedy. But putting a proactive fire prevention team in place may have led to needed reform.
Going back to existing buildings and try to retrofit them with sprinklers, with hardwired smoke detectors, with stairwell enclosures.
If the duplex where the 12 people died yesterday had been new construction, it would have required sprinklers, according to L&I. But that building, like many others in the city, is grandfathered into old laws, and adding sprinklers is a costly process.
They'd be alive today if there were sprinklers in that building.
And the head of the Public Housing Authority tells us that to retrofit all 4,000 scattered site units like the one in Fairmount with sprinklers would cost more than $1 billion. But any new construction of public housing now, like all other buildings, are required to have sprinklers. For the investigators, Claudia Vargas, NBC 10 News.